Hello everyone, and welcome to Fire Emblem Three Houses. Yes, there are going to be two Fire Emblem series going on the channel for a short while, because what I am showing you today is Fire Emblem Three Houses, Cindered Shadows. Now I know the Sacred Stones playthrough has not been going on for a particularly long time yet, but I hope it's abundantly clear at this point that Fire Emblem is one of my favorite series. Actually, realistically, let's be honest here, it's my favorite video game series of all time. Hands down, bar none. And the Cindered Shadows DLC for Three Houses, the newest game in the series, just came out a few days ago. And I'm extremely excited to play it for all of you. What is Cindered Shadows? Cindered Shadows is a side story specifically created for this game to flesh out some of the backstory of the game, as well as introduce some new characters, which we'll go through as we meet them and as it becomes relevant. Now, as is tradition, for me anyway, I will be playing the game on Hard Classic, which is the most difficult mode that you can choose to play at this point in the game. We also get to choose our avatar. And typically, whenever I play through a game for the first time, if there's a choice, I'll play as the male avatar because I'm male. And then usually afterwards I'll go with the female avatar because they're cute. What can I say? I'm a sucker for cute. But for now, we're going to pick male Byleth, whose name will be Byleth. Yes, Byleth is correct. We can play online, that's fine. That way we can find a few extra pickups. Now, Cindered Shadows... Well, really, I guess I'll let the prologue do its thing and explain.
Cindered Shadows, the fourth house. In the imperial year 185, the construction of Garreg Mach was completed. Saint Seiros held a sacred ritual to honor the occasion. 4 saints, known as the 4 apostles, were led to a tranquil place to perform the ritual. They poured their holy essences into the chalice of beginnings, a gift from the goddess herself, in hopes of bringing about her second coming. Alas, the rite of rising failed. Bearing the blame for the ritual's failure, the 4 apostles left the monastery, all but vanishing from the land. The first sought the lush forest of Adrestia's mountains. The second traversed Fodlan's fangs, settling on the ocean's salted shores. The third traveled to the mountains, vanishing beneath their lofty peaks. And the fourth faded into shadow, in a town untouched by day's light. Lost to history, nothing but legend now remains of the 4 apostles. Their offering to the Nabatean chalice and the goddess, who never returned.
Excuse me, sorry to intrude.
Now, I will say, I have played the first 2 chapters of Cindered Shadows before. I was at Katsucon when the actual DLC was released, and I couldn't help myself but play the first few chapters because I was so excited. But beyond that, I don't know what the rest of the DLC is going to entail. So past the first 2 chapters, it's going to be a blind playthrough, and I'm going to get to experience it alongside all of you. I'm going to let the characters here speak their piece, and then once we have full control, we will get involved in things from there.
Please, forgive the disruption, Lady Rhea, but I have that report you asked for.
Do not worry yourself, Eloise. As it happens, I am presently unoccupied. Please, go on.
Ah, great. I'll just... What's that book you've got there?
It is a chronicle covering the 995 years since Garreg Mach Monastery's completion.
Huh? Sounds like a good read.
Maintaining the Church's records is one of the duties entrusted to all archbishops, myself included. This one states that Saint Seiros ordered the monastery's construction after the end of the War of Heroes. This is a rare and valuable text. Most documents of that era have been lost to time.
I see. Time aside, we also lost many books in that massive fire 21 years ago.
Indeed. What was once well documented exists now only in this chronicle. Not least of which is the ceremony commemorating the monastery's completion.
Interesting. I'll admit, I know the year it took place, but not a thing beyond that.
That is to be expected, unfortunately. According to this chronicle, the rite of rising was held during the ceremony. The intent was to bring about the goddess's rebirth.
The Rite of Rising, huh? Can't say I've ever heard of that one.
I am not surprised. There should be countless records documenting that important ritual. Alas, today all we have to go on are fragments of forgotten memories and our own imaginations. One thing is clear. Their wish for the goddess's return was most fervent. Saint Seiros held the ritual along with the 4 apostles, Noah, Chevalier, Timotheus, and Oban. However, it did not bear fruit, as the goddess did not return to this world. So it is written.
I've never heard of the 4 apostles before. They're different from the 4 saints, right?
That is correct. Today, almost no records exist of the 4 apostles. Their names live on only in the names of their crests, but the bloodlines bearing those tokens of the past have been lost. Any deeper knowledge of the apostles has all but disappeared from the grand stage of history.
Well, that's interesting. Does that mean there's somewhere backstage?
In a sense. It is possible that their bloodlines have carried on in secret, perhaps materializing where no one thought to look. I had not intended to indulge in such a long-winded lecture. Please, tell me your report, Alois. It concerns the underground, does it not?
Oh, right. It's as you suspected. Recently, there have been several incidents in the area beneath Garreg Mach.
Claude, are you certain that suspicious individual you spotted went through there? I will say, that does look a bit like a passageway, doesn't it?
Unless I dreamt it up while sleepwalking, there's no mistaking what I saw.
I never thought I'd say this, but I believe Claude's story. In fact, it reminds me of something. I have heard tales of countless passages snaking beneath Garreg Mach. This is undoubtedly one of them.
Perhaps so. In any case, there is no telling where it leads.
Oh no. No, you're right. There's no telling what we could find. Terrible danger, wicked creatures, unspeakable smells. The risk is too high, your highnesses. I must humbly insist that you wait here, where it's safe and smells nice. Meanwhile, Teach and I'll track down the bandit-shaped person. If we don't return, do me a favor and call for the knights, will ya?
That is quite enough. As though we would allow you to make that call on your own. With so little information, it's far too dangerous. We'll come along as well, right, Dimitri?
Yes, of course. If it was indeed a thief, we must not allow them to get away with their crime. Considering what took place at the goddess's rite of rebirth, vigilance is paramount.
Right, well, tag along if you insist. Just don't come crying to me if we all meet a terrible fate. Deal?
Likewise. Well, no use dallying. Let's be on our way. Unless there's someone else we should call for?
Now, the game assumes at this point that anyone who's playing the DLC has already played at least part of the main game. So it doesn't take the time to introduce these characters. However, if you are new to the game and have never seen it before, allow me to give you a quick crash course. We have here Edelgard, who is the Princess of the Adrestian Empire and the leader of the Black Eagle House. We also saw in gold, with the fancy brunette, I suppose, hair, was Claude, leader of the Golden Deer House. And in the nice blue, the blonde-headed boy, was Dimitri, head of the Blue Lion's house, my personal favorite house. They're 3 of the 4 main characters-ish of the game, the other being Byleth, our character. And without getting into too many spoilers, in case you wind up wanting to see the main game after seeing this playthrough, this is pretty much the only time that you'll ever have the chance to utilize all 3 of the house leaders together. So it makes for a fairly novel experience. Allows for some pretty interesting character interactions and stuff, which are a lot of fun. So, with that little bit of context out of the way, I think we should bring more allies. Just to be safe. We are on Hard Classic after all, and that can kick our butts.
Yes, a fine idea. Though at this time, I fear few of our classmates are still awake.
Whoa there! What's all this, Professor? You and the 3 house leaders creeping around at night? Pretty shady if you ask me.
So, because video game, and also because, well, these 3 are likely to be roaming out and about at random times of the night, we have, from the left, the man with the green hair, Linhardt, of the Black Eagle House. We have in the center, the woman of the pink hair, Hilda, of the Golden Deer House. And on the right, the boy with the silverish gray, I'm going to go with gray, hair, is Ash, of the Blue Lion House. These 3 will be our 3 supporting characters, thus far, for the game. Which is a subject I will get into in a minute.
It's certainly a rare and unexpected sighting, especially considering the hour.
Looks like a whole lot of something is about to happen. I'm going back to bed.
Stop right there, Linhardt. Your bad luck is our good fortune. You're coming with us.
You could stop thinking of ways out of this, Hilda. We could use your help, too.
You as well, Ash. I'll explain everything on the way.
Happy to help. We don't have anything better to do at this hour, so we may as well pitch in.
I love that Ash is all for it, and then Hilda's just throwing a tantrum in the background.
You have our
Quite accurate.
Now then, let us be on our way. Ready, Professor?
The more the merrier, I suppose. Let's just hope we're not all marching to our doom.
Yuri, this is brutal. Tell me again why you're subjecting me to this devastating boredom?
Who are these shady characters? Let's find out.
Enough with the yawning, Ballface. If you're really that bored, you could always make a friendly wager.
Thanks, but no thanks, pal. I'm low on funds as it is. Last thing I need is another debt I can't pay.
Right, B. As if you could say no to that. How diverting that you should bicker for my amusement. Imagine my overwhelming dread were I stuck here without such joyous entertainment.
Count me out. I'll leave the talking to Yuri, Bird, and Coco.
Hey, boss.
Back already, huh? Have you detected any movement on the surface?
Well, I looked for the Cardinals meeting, just like you said. The thing is, I was spotted by some weirdos. They chased after me and everything.
Some weirdos, you say? So very helpful. They weren't knights, were they?
I don't know. There were only a few of them, but I bet they were armed to the teeth.
With meager numbers like that, I doubt they intend to take on Abyss.
They probably took you for some kind of villain. They'll lock you up if they catch you. Finally, a little action. Let's find them first and throw some punches.
Hold, Balthus. 'Tis ignorance itself to rush headfirst into trouble.
You're excited to fight too. You've been waiting for a chance to try out your shiny new magic.
Surface laws don't apply down here. That gives us the freedom to have some fun with them. They're probably not knights, but our new friends definitely work for the church.
You had best not leave me behind.
It seems this place is more than a simple passageway. There's clear evidence of human habitation.
People living under Garreg Mach? Oh, my brother used to tell me stories like that back in his academy days.
Ah, so Holst attended the academy as well, then?
Of course. Back then, there were
tons of rumors about what goes on below Garreg Mach. Something about tons of passages and houses beneath the town, all inhabited by super shady people. It had a real intimidating name, too. What was it again? I think it was called Abyss?
That's 2 points for the pink-haired gal. Welcome to Abyss, strangers.
I have to say, as I mentioned before, I have played the first few chapters of this, and every time I hear it, the theme for these characters, whose title will be revealed in a minute, so good! It's got a little bit of a jazz theme to it. It's baller. Very good stuff.
Identify yourself. That uniform.
He's ripped!
Welcome, curious students of the Officers Academy. What brings such fine, upstanding surface dwellers to our humble abode?
We're tracking someone who was creeping around the monastery.
Our business here does not concern you. Do you intend to let us pass?
Such indulgence simply cannot be permitted. Your words may fool the fool, but I cannot be so easily deceived. I, Constance von Nouvelle, shall divine your true intentions. You are here by order of the Church, which cruelly plots to eliminate the inhabitants of Abyss.
Byleth having 2 very similar ways of asking the same question, as is his wont. You think we're here to harm you? Because Byleth does not directly associate with the Church.
Nouvelle?
I don't care what the reason for this brawl is. A bite's on the menu, and I'm ready to feast. Let's get right to it, yeah?
By the look of them, I'd wager they're experienced combatants. I'm not certain this is a wise endeavor.
I was thinking the very same thing. Time to make a strategic retreat, then?
Turning back already? Oh, but you'll make me so sad. Now, why would you want to do that? Everyone here is starved for amusement. They've been waiting for a good fight.
Wow, look at that. A flawless example of a surprise attack. These aren't your run-of-the-mill thugs.
Claude, this isn't the time to be impressed by our enemy. We must find a way through at once.
Wait. Claude, is it? Isn't the brand new heir of House Regan?
Who, me? Nah, wrong guy. Claude's a common name in Fodlan. It's just too dashing for new moms to pass up. It's even a popular choice for fake names. Just a good, solid, all-purpose moniker, you know?
Right, except there's only one Claude enrolled at the Academy this year. Looks like that's you.
How do you even know that?
Ah, you just gave yourself away, pal. Looks like my luck's finally taking a turn for the good. All right, so your choices are as follows. Line up for the beating of a lifetime, or let us lock you up like the good boys and girls you undoubtedly are.
I have no clue what this guy's going on about, but it looks like a fight's in order. And it's pretty much all my fault. There's a saying from the East about fighting a flicker with a flame. Seems applicable right about now.
Finally, let's do this already. Prepare to face the almighty King of Grappling.
Why can't I shake the feeling that I know that wild man?
Alright, with all the preamble aside, let's get to fighting. Here you can see my my save that I had going before. But we're not going to use that. So we have the almighty King of Grappling, Balthus. We have Yuri, the magical trickster. Happy, who we don't know what her class is yet, and the same goes for Constance. They make up a very interesting group of people, and I'm not going to lie, they're pretty tough fighters. We do not need the guide. What we do need, though, is to check out our units. So, if you weren't already familiar, Fire Emblem is very notable for the level of customization it gives you over your army. Specifically, that there's typically more units than you can use in any one given battle. And they're very customizable. How customizable they are varies from game to game, but in Three Houses, you can make pretty much any one, any class, if you so choose. And thus, it gives you a very wide variety of options when it comes to your strategy. Cindered Shadows says, nah, but what if we limited you to 8 specific characters, or 7 in the current moment? And that's exactly what they did. So, at this point in the story, these levels and classes for the characters are way out of line from what they would normally be, but it makes for interesting gameplay. So everyone starts at level 20, and everyone has one of 2 different classes, or potentially 3 different classes, equipped. For the most part, we're going to leave these as they are, at least for this mission, because they're pretty solid. There are a couple of changes that I want to make, though. First of all, let me go to the inventory here. I want to change Edelgard from an armor knight into a warrior, or fortress knight, specifically in this case, because she's promoted. The reason I want to do this is warrior has better speed growths, and I want her to be a little bit faster than she would normally be just as a fortress knight, and then we can switch her back later. Dimitri, we're going to do something similar. I want to make him a hero, because cavalry classes have fairly bad speed growths as well. Get some levels in hero, and then we'll go from there. Claude can stay as a Wyvern Rider, because Wyvern Riders are amazing. Linhardt can stay as a priest. Ash can stay as a sniper, and Hilda can stay as a warrior. Byleth's only real option is Swordmaster, so that's what we're going to leave him as. And as for items, everyone has pretty much what they need. I do think I want to give Claude a sword. And I think we want to give Dimitri a sword as well, actually. Just so that they have a little bit more variety in what they can do. Ash, normally I would want to have a sword as well, but for right now, as a sniper, he'll be fine on his own, just out ranging it up. Now, something else to note about Cindered Shadows, at least in my experience thus far, is the maps are designed to not be easy. 3 houses might be easily critiqued as being on the easier side, even on higher difficulties, but these maps are tough. I mean, you can see here we've got all 4 of those new characters who are all bosses in their own right, as indicated by the little gold medallion that they have on them. And they're scattered all over the map, which is huge, by the way. And they have lots of enemy units that are all promoted classes with good weapons, silver variety weapons, which are basically as strong as you can get for basic weaponry. They have cover tiles that increase their defense. They've got avoid floors, which increase their ability to dodge attacks. There's gates, there's traps. It's pretty wild. So these maps aren't going to be easy, especially if you've played the base game. This is going to prove to be more of a challenge than you might expect. That said, there's no point in lingering any further. We've got the class changes made that we want to have made. Let's get in there.
Who are you people anyhow? It doesn't seem right to cross blades without knowing at least that much.
Wow, does it hurt to take yourself that seriously? Answer the man's question, B.
Why me? Yeah, fine. We're the Ashen Wolves. We're the secret 4th house in Abyss. The surface world turned its back on us, and we did the same in return. Back for a back, as they say.
4th house? Impossible. Still, we must focus on the battle ahead.
Seems like it'll be tough to fight here. It's kind of dark. Looks like a great place to nap, though. The locks on those gates look really complicated. There must be another way through.
So, a few things to note there. First of all, some character traits were displayed, namely that Linhardt is a sleepy boy. That's a large part of his character. He has more nuance than that, but I mean, you will often see references to him being sleepy or tired. We also have this lever here, which I know what it does, but just for the sake of display, we're going to go ahead and try and hit it.
Nothing's happening. What are we doing wrong?
I think the better question is, what aren't you doing wrong? Only we can operate that.
So that's the first curveball that the game throws you, because the base game just tells you right off the bat, as soon as you get to a level like this, that, hey, there's levers and other things that you can activate to be able to open doors and whatnot. Yeah, not the case here. Not the case here. Also, that is not an attack we want to take. Okay. So as you can see, we've got two fronts of attack right now. We've got two assassins down to the bottom who are lightning fast, just absolutely brutally quick. And then we also have a few grapplers, as well as Byleth, the so-called King of Grappling, who's a War Monk, which is a new class specific to the DLC. We'll go over that in a second. He also has a legendary weapon, which makes him especially brutal. We don't want to draw his ire until we're absolutely ready. There's also a sniper, so we need to keep our eye out for that as well. Basically, this first turn, we need to just hold these cover tiles and draw the enemy to us, maybe picking a couple of them off, at least weathering the assault, so that we can then move in on the counterattack on the next turn. So, that's exactly what we're going to do. So long as we don't move forward, none of this group can attack us except for this one grappler, and that's fine. So what we're basically going to do is we're going to create a defensive line. We have Byleth moved up so that the assassins can't all get to Edelgard. They're going to go for Dimitri, who has a cover tile, and Edelgard is going to take the hit from this brawler. Now, something we can do to help Dimitri out a little bit is we can switch which weapon he has equipped, because this iron sword is lighter than the steel lance that he has by a significant margin. You can see down here on the bottom right, under where it says attack, he's got AS. That's his attack speed. And basically what that means is he's faster in battle because this weapon is lighter. It's not going to let him double the assassins. It's not going to keep him from being doubled by the assassins, but it will increase his actual speed, which in turn will increase his chance to dodge. So, equipping this just gives us a better chance of not taking quite as many hits, which is of vital importance right now. Beyond that, we are going to have Linhardt move up. He can't really do anything at this juncture, but that's fine. Let's see. We'll have Claude move up a little, and if Ash moves here, he's drawing an assassin. Okay, so we want to have Ash back as well, because otherwise he'll probably die.
I will prevail.
Edelgard, we're going to give an iron axe because it's more accurate than a steel weapon, and we're going to end the turn. Edelgard, despite having the lower chance to hit, successfully getting the counterattack in, which is big. That grappler will be easy enough to kill on the next turn as a result. And now here come the assassins. These are the scary ones. Alright, not bad. Even if Dimitri were to get attacked by both of them, he would survive with 1 HP, thanks to the cover tile, which is huge. As you can see, these assassins, tough. Because they're so fast and so accurate, they just take huge chunks out of our units, and there's little we can do about it.
Careful
We're
now.
basically just going to have to go full-on healing after this turn, just to be able to recover. Now, another issue is these guys have Axe Breaker, which is a skill that just gives them a massive increase to their chance to hit and their chance to dodge against enemies that are using axes. Specifically, they have Axe Breaker Plus, which makes that happen on both my turn and their turns. So it's pointless even trying to attack them with Hilda. Or Edelgard, realistically. What we can do, however, is we can have Edelgard come down here and use a Gambit. Now, I'm hesitant to do this just because we only have one usage of it, and this would be a very useful Gambit to have later on in the fight. So we can do this, but I'm going to see if we have other options first. The issue is we have 6 enemy units to try and take out. Only 7 units of our own, and Linhardt's only really useful for healing. He can't use some magic. And a lot of these enemies have next to full health, which means we're not going to be able to just drop them right off the bat. Another thing to consider is Byleth, being a commander, is less liable to getting impacted by gambits, which are going to be a big way to keep him from hurting us. So we kind of have to drop him this turn, which might be a little tough. As you can see, he's kind of a monster. We do have some options to do increased damage to him, but I want to see if we can get a big hit in first with somebody. Byleth can double, but Byleth will also get killed on the crackback, which is no good. We could potentially take some shots with Claude. That's not bad. That's not bad. The idea here would be to kill Byleth and then use a gambit to stop the other 3 units that are with him from moving. That'll let us take out the assassin on the bottom right and potentially either kill the sniper or just weather the attack from him, one or the other.
You look familiar. Have we met?
Not a chance. You'd remember meeting a specimen like me.
True. I definitely remember this sharp twinge of annoyance.
Stop yapping and start slapping.
Alright, we got some opening hits in on him. However, we need to do a lot more damage before he goes down. I'm inclined... I'd like to have Linhardt attack him, but Linhardt will immediately get killed by the sniper on the following turn. So that's really not going to be a viable strat here. Dimitri can double, but he will be almost killed in the process, which means he will then be killed by one of the enemy units. So it's looking more and more like we're going to have to use that gambit. I think the play here is we're going to Deadeye, which will do a good chunk of damage to Byleth, allowing us to finish him off with someone else. And then we can go ahead and use some gambits to pin the rest of them down.
I won't hold back, so you better not either. These fists are packed with years of pent-up resentment. Time to let loose.
Now, it shouldn't be relevant here because we're going to drop him, but Byleth is a war monk, and that means that he's proficient in axes, brawling, and healing magic. So if we were to leave him alive, there would be the possibility that he could go ahead and... Oh, we can't actually see what magic... Oh, no, we can. Okay. There's a possibility that he could go ahead and use some heal magic on one of his allies, which could definitely be a pain. So, really even more of an advantage that we're taking him out now. Right. Didn't think about that. Byleth, I forgot, has... Where is it? King of Grappling. He gets +6 to his strength and +6 to his defense when his HP is under 50%, which means that Dimitri can no longer just casually kill him, which is a problem. We could go for the Ruptured Heaven here, and we could do it from range, which would let Byleth hit Byleth without getting counterattacked, which is certainly not bad. What gambits do we have available to us? We do have Group Flame on Linhardt, which could be good. But again, we have to put him in range of the sniper to be able to do that, which will get him killed. We have the Alliance Duelists that we could potentially use to lock these two down. Might not be a bad idea. And then we just have to worry about this Brawler here and this Assassin here. Okay, I think we have a strat here. We're going to go ahead and use Smash with... not even. I mean, that could do it, but the chance to hit is fairly low. Byleth has proven to be a little bit of a bastard. Not gonna lie. Okay, so I think we have to go with the Ruptured Heaven from range here with Byleth and then throw a heal at him afterwards. If we're lucky, we got a crit. We got a crit.
That is that.
Very good.
I'll give you that much.
Okay, so now the biggest threat is out of the way, so we just have to deal with the little guys, which still won't be easy, but it'll be doable at least. I think we have Dimitri kill this assassin. Yeah, I like the way that looks. In fact, even better.
I must stay focused.
What that allows us to do is move up here with Hilda and use her gambit to kill this assassin, and because gambits prevent enemy units from moving when we hit them, keep the brawler from coming after us next turn. Very good. So now that brawler that we just hit for 13 can't move, and it'll be easy enough for us to finish off this brawler here. Now, there is the possibility that we could have Linhardt kill this brawler and then have Edelgard kill the sniper. Let's see here. The sniper has 39 health and 16 defense. Edelgard, if we use Monster Breaker with her 46 attack, that would be plus 9 damage, bring her up to 55 attack. Let's see here. 55 minus 16, 45. That's exactly 39. Unless my math is wrong. Which I don't think it is. 55, 45. Yeah, 39. So what we can actually do here, hoping that the hit rates work with us. Ooh. That's more reasonable. Now with this brawler out of the way, Alright, very nice. We can run Edelgard up to the sniper. Ooh, she could even... We can go for the Monster Breaker here and try to kill the sniper. If we fail, the sniper's going to kill Byleth. But that's what we have a certain special mechanic for. So let's find out. And we're good.
Now you know your limits.
Wonderful. That was a little bit of a spicy turn, but we got there. That wasn't the worst turn we could have. The odds played in our favor just enough to get us where we needed to be. And we'll be extra spicy by having Ash finish this guy with the mini bow.
That's how it goes.
Very good. First enemy pod down. We're now basically going to spend the next multiple turns with Linhardt healing everyone as much as physically possible.
Thank you.
Because there's a whole lot left that we have to blast our way
Stay
through.
focused.
Also has a concoction. Interesting. Many concoctions. So many concoctions. You know what? I suddenly don't feel bad about using one. Let's do this. I didn't actually realize that almost everyone had concoctions here. Now, what we can do is we have these cavalrymen up here, specifically paladins, which can be a little scary, is we can run Edelgard into their range and have her draw them in. Because she's so tanky and because she does a lot of damage, it's a fairly safe maneuver. The only way it would really be a problem would be if they had a chance to crit or something, but... I mean, Edelgard's just going to drop them. As Edelgard does.
Well, how was that?
Witness my power.
And see, that's where that class change to warrior is coming in strong. It's very unlikely we would have gotten that speed growth if we hadn't changed her to a warrior, so already we're getting just dividends of value. Now, unfortunately, since we weren't able to use that lever, this gate will remain closed to us, which is unfortunate, but we do have a path around.
Come to think of it, there's an easier way to handle this.
What was that? It couldn't have been a summoning spell.
So Happy just goes ahead and summons a monster and then goes and locks herself behind a gate. Because she's just cool like that, I guess. Now, fortunately, this sandworm is not the most threatening monster that she could have summoned. Monsters have a few certain special mechanics in this game, wherein they take up multiple tiles, as you can see. You're alright, Dimitri. Just heal up. They take up multiple tiles, and they have a shield. And so long as the shield is active, they take reduced damage. If we break the shield, however, they get stunned, and we can do bonus damage to them until it heals on the next turn. If we take out all 4 shields, however, we can get some special items, which are very useful. So we're going to try and do just that.
I know just what to do.
That's 2 shields down. This is where we can do something very fancy with a combat art to be able to hit the shield in the back. The other bonus of breaking all 4 shields is it will completely stun the target until its next turn. I was going to say, so that we don't have to worry about it counterattacking us. But it seems like Claude didn't feel like hitting today, which is great. We'll take another crack at it with Ash. Hopefully he's able to land the hit that Claude wasn't able to. Beautiful. Okay. Whew. Good job, Ash. And now it will be an easy enough task to have Edelgard break this shield. Oh my god, and the worm's first point of health. Okay. So monsters also have multiple bars of health. As you'll see here, it pops and then refills. And it gained an ability there, as we can see. So it gained Monster Effect Null. Nullifies any extra effectiveness against monsters. Which, there are items that do that, there are weapons that do that, there are abilities that do that. A number of different things, but we don't have any of them currently. Actually, we do. I forgot we have the Sword of the Creator. Which doesn't seem to care. That's interesting. I'm not going to kill the Sandworm here, though, because that would actually open us up to attack from the Assassins, and that would be bad news bears. So, since the Sandworm is now stunned, as indicated by the red sparkles around its head, it won't be able to attack us next turn, and we'll basically just be safe moving up here. Now, as you can see, again, the Sandworm really isn't the most powerful enemy that we could potentially worry about facing here. So I'm not too concerned about just beating it up.
Should I have held back?
Very good. Sandworm down.
Such power dwells within.
An excellent level for Byleth, which I always like to see. And now we have these 2 assassins. As before, we should be okay putting Dimitri in there. We'll just check their stats. 36 attack, which should encompass all of their bonuses as well. Yeah, okay. So they have 36 attack total against Dimitri's 19 health. So even if they double, which they most likely will, they're only looking at 17 damage a hit, which he'll be able to survive. So we will drop Dimitri right here. We'll provide him with a little bit of backup, just in case. Get a heal for the bonus experience. And we'll let Dimitri weather the assault.
How about this?
I have no choice but to admit defeat.
Well, that's about as unlucky as you can possibly get in this type of scenario. So we've lost Dimitri. What that means is we're going to go ahead and use a Divine Pulse, which, if you're not aware, is a mechanic that in this game mode we have 5 charges of, as you can see in the bottom left, and it allows us to rewind to any point in the mission. So we're going to pull Dimitri back, and we'll wait until next turn to be able to go after the assassins, possibly with someone who isn't going to get crit into the dirt. I hope. What we might even do, actually, is lure them in by shooting them with Claude. This way, since they... I didn't want to jinx it in case he dodged on a 94. This way, since they took a hit, they should start charging at us, and we'll be able to more easily move in and take them out next turn. Without getting crit into the dirt by a 3% chance to crit. There they go. Hello, gentlemen. Don't mind me if I just fill you full of arrows. It's fun, I promise. Going to use curved shot here because it increases our chance to hit, which, as we have clearly displayed, is valuable against these guys. Claude activating his crest and getting some HP back. Not that it really matters that much in the current scenario. Actually, we shouldn't even need that. Yeah, okay. Dimitri can take care of this. Because he's a beast.
Over already.
Very close to leveling as well, which would be excellent. Ooh, and Ash with that beautiful chance to hit. Goodbye, sir.
The fight continues.
Very good.
Who, me?
Now, I am going to use a little bit of metagaming knowledge here, because there's some enemies that can spawn right behind us if we move too far forward. And I'm going to wait to trigger them until it's more of an appropriate time to do so. Also, something we can do, because, well, the game doesn't want to be too unfair, is we can actually hit Happy over this wall if we use our two archers with their combat arts. So we're going to do our best to take her out right here.
Out of this fight. I don't want to hurt anyone. But
I don't want to hurt anyone, she says,
there's no avoiding it.
after she summoned a Sandoran to attack us. Now, Claude's going to take a big chunk of damage here if he doesn't dodge, which is unlikely. However, she doesn't have any crit chance, so he'll survive regardless. No big deal, we can heal that off. Then, we come in with Ash, who can very easily finish the job. Oh, and with the crit too. Very nice. Ash, as you can see, is a monster if you use him right. Excellent. Another much-needed point in speed. Very good.
This is boring. Count me out.
Goodbye, Happy. Now, I think we'll let Edelgard weather this assault. And oh, hey, look! Guys that we totally weren't expecting.
It would behoove you to watch your back.
Oh no! I knew something didn't feel right.
When I did this mission for the first time, Linhart, poor Linhart, was in the rear, watching our backs and healing us up, and proceeded to get slaughtered by two very scary men with axes.
Thanks for that.
However, this time we're prepared. Byleth will make short work of these fellas.
It's over.
Oh my. Even more short work. Alright, well, I'm not too worried about him. We'll just pull the rest of the team forward to back Edelgard up. The only potential concern here is how much damage the Warlock can do. Because I'm not going to lie, I thought that that Warlock was a sniper. Oh, just inching by with our life in our hands. Very good.
Should I have held back?
Swordmaster Byleth showing what speed the sword can really do for you. However, he's now going to be out of the fight for the next couple of turns just because of his distance, so we're going to have to make do with who we have here. I think we'll take this kill on Claude, just because it's almost guarantee, and he won't die from the crackback, so... Although Ragnarok hurts, that's a big spell. Clearly. Very good.
It's not luck, it's fate. Careful.
Okay, Get him moved up a little bit. We'll have Linhardt finish off a Fortress Knight.
Huh. Victory.
And then, I think it is only fitting if we have Hilda and Dimitri go in and slaughter this other Fortress Knight. It really is something to consider when you see just how much damage these enemies are capable of doing to us. It's nothing to sneeze at. They're pretty tough, and if we're not careful, they can just gang up and kill someone. In other modes in the game, your units are stronger, the enemy units are weaker. You're more readily able to just one-shot enemy units, more speed. Yes! And so you generally have to be a little less concerned about taking a hit here or there. But I mean, when a Fortress Knight can hit one of your tankiest melee units for almost half of her health with one shot, you gotta take notice of that. You have to be really aware of how much damage output the enemy units really have. Especially when you only have one healer. Typically when I play the main storylines of the game, I like to kit myself out with like 4 or 5 healers. A number of whom are like off healers. They can... Ooh, I forgot we can do this. Black mages, or even holy knights. More melee-focused classes or offense-focused classes that can still do healing. Just so you have that extra little bit of healing backup when you need it. Now, what we did just there was we used the Retribution Gambit, which, as we can see here, allies can counterattack when they are attacked from outside their usual range for 5 turns. It's a gambit that, frankly, I don't make use of enough, and it makes enemies like this sniper hysterically easy to deal with, because you can just drop someone like Dimitri in their range, and he'll be able to counterattack just because.
Think this through.
Like, say goodbye to this sniper, because he's done. Oh, unless he gets the dodge. Fair enough. Fair enough, sir. I underestimated you? Underestimated you. Okay, good. Now, the unfortunate thing is this sniper is on an avoid tile, which is going to make him extremely difficult to hit. But even so, the snipers have pretty poor stats in this mode, or at least on this level. So it shouldn't be too big of an issue to hit him.
Well, how was that?
Now, unfortunately, we do have another assassin here, which can prove to be a challenge on its own. I think we're going to make this a guarantee, or a near guarantee.
Let the lesson begin.
God, I just love Byleth as the Sword of the Creator.
As expected. We must all do our part.
Okay. No strength or speed, which sucks, but we got a lot of good defensive stats there, so it's not the worst. Okay. Man, that chance to hit is very, very poor. We can buff it up a little bit with Iron Lance. Hopefully we hit here. Okay.
Ready and willing.
It's not actually a bad idea to use Assembly here, because it gives us a much higher chance to hit. And realistically speaking, no one else but Ashe is going to be able to get to this guy, so unless Ashe can double him, which is possible. But not going to be quite the damage that we need. Alright, let's see if we get the hits in first with Ashe before we decide on what to do next. And this is why. Ashe is a machine! No discard, no discard. Bullion is an item that we can sell for cash, and cash is extremely limited in this mode, so we cannot afford to be missing out on any bullions.
Sorry.
Now, these Pegasus Knights, they're going to be pretty brutal. You can see they're fast. Not like lightning or anything, but fast enough. But they also have a lot of attack, because they have silver lances, and they have lance fare, which just gives them +5 when they're using lances. They also have just +10 to avoid, because, and Swordbreaker Plus, so no one with a sword is going to be able to deal with them. Basically what we need to do is avoid this Warlock's range, and then just drop Hilda on an avoid tile here, and hopefully she'll have the hit chance with Lancebreaker. Actually, she might not even... Oh no, when using... Okay. So it's just not as powerful as Axebreaker Plus, which is fine. I have no issues with that whatsoever. And this way she should be able to hit them and potentially even kill them, which would be great.
Thanks for that.
Oh, wait. Oh! Alright, well, she won't be able to double, but she'll soften them up more than enough for us to be able to, words, swoop in and finish them off. Oh, here comes Constance. Okay. So Constance, actually I forgot to even look at Happy. Whoops. Happy is a Valkyrie, which is a mounted magic class, different from Dark Knights and Holy Knights, which are classes from the base game, in that it specifically specializes in dark magic, offensive dark magic, and gets a bunch of bonuses to range, damage, how many uses they have of black magic spells. It's a really cool class, but just didn't serve her too well in the capacity that she was being used for in this fight. Constance is similar. Constance is a Dark Flyer, which in this game is the only flying unit in the game that can use magic, which obviously gives it a pretty nice niche. Now, Constance herself can be pretty nasty because she has 30 magic and some pretty powerful spells, but she's also a flyer, and we have Ash. And in case you weren't aware, snipers do bonus damage, or any bow, actually, does bonus damage to flying units. The only question is, where can we put him that he isn't going to get killed? Right there. Done.
Underestimate the denizens of Abyss, and it won't end well for you. Tremble in fear at my magical might.
Constance, let me tell you something. You have magic, but, we have pointy sticks that we fire out of other sharpened sticks.
Is this a joke?
Eh. Alright. Our first really poor level, that's fine.
So much as that I'm temporarily grounded.
Quite literally, because we just clipped your wings about as viciously as they could be clipped. That's actually not a bad chance to hit. My main concern right now is going to be these Warlocks. Because we can kill the Pegasus Knights easily enough, but those Warlocks could really hurt. Nice.
Should I have held back?
The accuracy bonus from Grounder counteracting the Swordbreaker skill that Pegasus Knights have, which is nice. We could put Dimitri here. He has counterattack. Alright, the Pegasus Knights are down. Now it's just a matter of what are the Warlocks going to do. One of them is going to go for Byleth, which is fine, because it shouldn't be able to double him. And then we have this one who's going to go for Dimitri, which is also fine, because Dimitri will be able to counterattack. Perfect. We're going to leave Hilda right where she is. Ooh, we can even draw him further in with Claude. You know what, I like that. We're going to do that. And we'll let these two hang back. We'll drop a Physic on... Oh, that was a... Okay. I thought Dimitri needed a heal there, but it was a graphical glitch. Huh. In that case... Perfect. Hey, a level for Linhardt. Very good. Not bad. Again, I would have liked to have seen speed, but Linhardt's not exactly the fastest guy around, so I guess it's not that surprising. Yuri, on the other hand, is very fast. Okay, that's fine. We fully expected him to take that hit. I'm not worried. The Warlock running directly in because he knew Dimitri would be able to counterattack anyway. No big deal.
Over already.
Come on, speed. Hey, very nice.
Must keep aiming higher.
Very, very good level, actually. Beautiful. Now, the issue with this is that Yuri is nasty. Like, I mean, look at those stats. 40 attack, 126 hit, 24 crit, 34 attack speed, 50 avoid. The dude's just an absolute machine. 37 speed is faster than anything else we can put out by far. We are not doubling this guy. He also has Lucky 7, which means that he's just getting random boosts to his stats, which sucks. He also has Honorable Spirit, where he just gets +3 to attack if he's not fighting, or if he's fighting an ally that's one space away. He's not nice. The only real way that we have to deal with this is with Gambit spam. And because of the position that we're currently in, we don't really have the ability to just do that. He also has an increased move range, which is just... Yuri just has it all. He just has it all. Who else do we have marked here? You. Okay. So that's his current move range. We also have to worry about the move ranges of these other units, clearly. Oh my god, Ash, calm down.
That was tough.
You're in good form.
So, we have this priest. This priest who's going to go after Claude. We could potentially go for some gambits here and try to tie up the enemy units, which I don't think is the worst idea.
It's your call.
I think we might even assembly here with Claude and then have him move.
No time like the present.
Very good. He can't counterattack. He's weakened. We move Claude out of the way. Then... I think we have Byleth move up here and use Assault Troop. Very good. Now those three can't move, including Yuri, which is huge. And all we have to do is park Hilda here, huck an axe at this priest so he doesn't bomb any of us. And now we're basically good.
I'm all sweaty. Don't expect much more than that.
Unfortunately missing out on the speed growth, but getting another point in strength, which is good. Ooh, and some bonus experience. Nice. Oh, and a gambit use. Ooh, that could come in handy. Benefits of playing online. We get random little boosts like that. Huh, why not?
Who's next?
So now the only thing that's going to be able to move in and attack is the Brawler, who we should be able to deal with easily enough. Oh my, unless he's doubling Hilda. Oh god. Wow. Okay, this is why speed's important, everybody. Holy. Well, good thing nobody else was able to move. Jeez. Oh, Hilda, I'm sorry. You'll be okay. Just throw an axe at a man, it'll be fine. Now... Yep, that's the play right there. This is why we saved Blaze.
Your defeat was inevitable.
I must get stronger.
Beautiful. Okay. That's pretty much going to be the end of the chapter. It's going to be easy enough to take Yuri and the Brawler out now. We'll get some extra healing from Linhardt just for the bonus experience. We'll have Dimitri finish off this Brawler.
Is that all?
And then finally, we can have Byleth go in, or even Ash maybe. Ash will have the better chance to hit now that I think about it. Well, okay, I was going to say not... Actually, that could be done, but... Yuri has the Fetters of Dromi, or Dromai, which have the chance to have damage that he takes, so... We still have more than enough damage here that we should be able to finish him off, but Ash might not get the kill.
I know you. You're
Oh.
the one Lord Lonato adopted, isn't that right?
That's right. Wait, I recognize you too. You're Count Rowe's adopted son. I don't know how you ended up here, but your house is no doubt worried sick. Let's get you home, okay?
You really think I'd choose to go back there? Better watch yourself. You might lose a limb. Or your life.
Interesting. I didn't get that interaction before. There it is. There's the guard. Okay, so Yuri is the adopted son of House Rowe. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay, okay. We'll keep that in mind. Go with the mini bow for the extra accuracy.
Well, what have we here? Some lost kids stumbling around in the dark? Stay a while, won't you? Shame indeed not to have a bit of fun with each other while we've got the chance, you know?
Alright, easy, Yuri. Oh, he got the guard again, but he's still done. Claude getting his first level of the playthrough. Very good.
Expected as much. Maybe I got a bit too carried away. Nah.
A little bit of bonus XP for Claude, which never hurt anybody. Oh, and his durability went back up too. Nice. MVP for Dimitri, meaning he also gets some bonus XP. Ooh, and a level off of it. Very good.
I must keep aiming higher.
Not bad. 3 stats is about the lowest acceptable rate for a level up. And they were good stats too, so...
It's safe to say we've won this round, don't you think? B, was it?
The name's Balthus. I don't lose often, but I can at least recognize what it looks like.
Balthus. Balthus. Balthus? From House Albrecht? Baldy, is that you? Whew! You look, old.
Huh. Do we know each other, pal? Wait a minute. That hair, those eyes, that voice! Hilda! I don't believe it! Oh, little sis?
Alright, and with that, I think we're going to call this an episode. We've successfully completed Chapter 1 of Fire Emblem Three Houses, Cindered Shadows. We met the Ashen Wolves, Balthus, Yuri, Happy, and Constance. We saw their unique classes, which I forgot to introduce the class of Yuri, but that's fine. We can do that next episode. We saw what characters we're going to be using, and overall we kicked butt. Obviously, hindsight did assist me a little bit in that fight. When I first did this mission, I had to use almost every Divine Pulse charge I had to survive the horrifying onslaught that Yuri presented. But this time went a little bit better. So, with that said, I wish you all a very good night. Since this is the first episode in a series, even though it will probably be a short-lived series, if you could like the video, subscribe maybe, share with a friend. Those would all be very beneficial things. I won't ask all the time, but the first episode in any given series is very important for the metrics that it gets. So if you could do that, I'd really appreciate it. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think of both my presentation and of the DLC, or of Three Houses in general. And until we next speak with Chapter 2, remember, be good to each other. Bye-bye.
Reach for my hand, I'll soar away into